How we doing, Bengals Army? Me and Chris for a little vent sesh. It was a not ideal week one game. Everyone's hyped up, have a lot of high expectations for this team, and today they did not look, you could say, prepared. They didn't look ready. They didn't look focused. They didn't look a lot of things. But my big concern is Joe Burrow did not look possibly physically capable to be out there and to lose by, and this is a hot take right off the rip because we're not going to make this long, but for him to play and play the way he did was not what we expect out of Joe, and to see him out there playing the way he did was not ideal. And me personally, I'd rather see him be rested an extra week, go through practice, do what he needs to do, start Jake Browning, let him play. 3 points. I mean, 3 points. Come on. Jake Browning, dude, if you give us 0 points, do we care? Like, is it that big of a deal? Does those reps matter that much? Maybe they do. Joe needs them. That's, I guess, can be an argument. But how do you feel, Chris? Do you think it would have been better to keep Joe resting a week and let that calf feel a little better, let him be himself, or do you think it was just lack of?
I personally don't think. Like, I think he needed to be out there. So, like,
you do.
I don't think that him playing bad had anything to do with his calf. Like, there was nothing that I saw, anyways, that he was like hobbling around or he wasn't able to get in and out of the pocket the way that he usually does and all that stuff. I thought that, I mean, we just got to call it like it is. Like, he played bad. He did not have a good game. He missed a couple.
That deep ball to T where he moved up in the pocket.
Well, there were a handful of balls that he just left high, and they were
low. There was some high ones, yeah.
So I think that there were probably 3 or 4 points in the game when he left a throw high that was either on like a third down or like that deep ball to T, where if T doesn't have to jump up and try and make a miraculous one-handed catch, he's in position to make the play, but the ball's not in the right spot.
Yeah.
And granted,
even the comeback that you're talking about, well, not that one, but there was another comeback route where it was just a jump ball, could have been kind of a back shoulder, and he just led T by probably a solid 3 to 5 yards, and he basically played a defender and boxed the dude out. And
so I thought outside of those couple that he left high, I thought he was not on the same page as the wide receivers at all. There were a couple times when there were 2 that stick out to me. When one of them, he tried to throw like a deep out route to T, but T kept going upfield. There was another time when you're
talking about where T was going to come to the flat. T should have
it was probably an option route where it was like sort of a flag, a corner route with the option to break it down to like a deep out, something along those lines. But T kept going. He threw it where he thought he was going to run the out. He threw a back shoulder to Jamar where Jamar kept going. And then there was one over the middle where I think it was Tyler Boyd had an option route, like inside or outside, something like that. And he went in and Joe threw out, something along those lines. But there were at least 3 times when he didn't throw it to the same place where the receiver ran to, which is a problem. There were at least 3 times, maybe 4 that I can remember, where he left the ball high in a key situation, which they were mostly like sideline routes. So leaving the ball high wasn't necessarily like, if you leave it high over the middle, then there's an interception threat because the safety, is obviously waiting back there for it. But he wasn't putting the ball where it needed to be. He wasn't on the same page with the receivers. And I just generally thought he had a bad game. But to answer your original question, no, I don't think it's useful for him to rest unless the reason that he would be resting is because his calf is not 100%.
So my reason of saying this is there was a lot of plays where Joe would normally he gets out of the pocket or he's moving up in the pocket, he might tuck it and run. There was probably 3 different plays I can recall of him doing that where he didn't tuck it and run, he tossed it away, and that that's why I bring that up. It makes me question: is he there? Is he where he needs to be? Does he feel comfortable, or is it was it just the play wasn't there and he didn't want to run it? I don't know, but
I mean,
I can
he's
recall.
been a full participant in practice, so like I don't think that there's anything with him feeling uncomfortable with his calf as far as that would go. But I mean, hey, maybe it's still a mental thing for him, but
Yeah, in which his calf may be 100%, and maybe like you say, he's not comfortable with it. But for me and what I saw, I felt like he was not comfortable, or he was told to protect himself, and he's trying to protect himself. There was just some plays that was not your typical Joe Burrow, 100%, let's go get it kind of plays, if that makes sense.
I don't think that I saw that. Like I don't think I saw him do really anything different from what he would normally do. But
Really?
yeah. I thought that he just made some bad throws and he made some bad decisions. One of the reasons that I think that he was kind of in his own head from the beginning of the game was I thought that Jim Schwartz had a great game plan where the first series he just sent so much pressure, which like the Bengals he sent more guys than the Bengals could block. He sent 5-guy pressures, 6-guy pressures. Like I think for 3 plays straight on the first drive, and that from my point of view, if you're a quarterback that's used to getting early pressure on you, if you like what's the easiest way to get into the head the first game of the season? Would be to get pressure on the guy. So I think that if anything, it might have had something to do with that. Because I mean, the Browns D line is talented, and they were able to put some pressure on him early and put some pressure on him often. But I think that the biggest problem for me was that the offense was just sucked. Like
Yeah.
Zach Taylor and Brian Callahan, what are you doing? You have the entire offseason essentially to come up with a game plan for this first week. And I understand, oh, Joe was hurt, he wasn't in there with the guys, whatever. But like I just a couple quick stats. So 10 of 16 first downs, they ran the ball on first down, which like 10 of 16, it's like 2/3. It's not like horrible in the right game situation, but we
I
were
mean, the weather was kind of iffy, and you're trying to get the game moving. So I can understand trying to develop the run game, but yeah.
Well, the issue you can try and develop the run game, but you can't do the same thing every first down.
Oh no, I agree. I agree.
So like out of the 6 passing plays on first down, 3 of those 6 passing plays were after we had already gotten a first down on the drive. So it's like first down, run the ball. Okay, next play is a 10-yard pass, we get a first down, and now it's a pass on first down. So like, all right, so now we're at 10 of 13. First play of the drive, we run the ball on first down. And 2 of those passes were in the fourth quarter when the game was already well out of hand, when we had basically already given up. So that's 10 of 11 plays to start your drive. You're running the ball on first down. And I understand the weather and I understand whatever. But if you're going to run it on first down, you at least have to try to do something creative. Like the offense was so basic, so vanilla, so straightforward that what's going on? I understand the Browns have a good defense, but if you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Mixon and this great receiving tight end that Irv Smith is supposed to be because he couldn't block for crap today. And you know what I mean? And Tyler Boyd still, as far as number 3 receivers go, Tyler Boyd would be a great number 3 receiver.
Mhm.
If Brian Callahan and Zach Taylor can't use some of that talent to scheme somebody open, like I'm not saying you don't run the ball, but or I'm not saying you shouldn't pass the ball on first down or whatever, but if you're gonna run the ball every time, you have to come up with something creative on second down. You have to try something different. Try a screen pass. Try some quick plays. But where they did try those quick plays was on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 4, where you're doing a 2-yard quick route and just hoping that the guy breaks a tackle and gets a first down. It made no sense to me whatsoever what they were calling when they were calling it. And in the first quarter, I think it was one of the first 2 drives, we get to the Browns 38-yard line and it's 4th and 3.
Yep.
And
yeah, I know. Yep.
So you draft a kicker in what McPherson was a 5th round pick. So it would have been.
You talking about Brad?
No, I'm talking about the kicker that they should have used to either kick the field goal, or if it's raining too hard and you don't want to kick a 54-yard field goal, whatever it would have been.
Money Mac.
Then go for it. 4th and 3 on the 38-yard line. You punted the ball and you got what? It's plus net 20 yards.
It was 18. It was 18 yards they netted.
You go from the 38-yard line to give the Browns the ball at the 20 or the 18 or whatever it was. Just go for it. Just go for it, because if you
no, I get it, man. My frustration is that when that position came up, that is Zach Taylor's somewhat aggressive on 4th downs. I was like, let's go for this right here. This is a good time. I would have been 100% for it. And then we kick it, goes in the end zone. They get the ball at the 25. They netted 18 yards, I think, on it. But we go for it on their 35 or something. It was 4th and might have been 4th and 5, 4th and 3, or 4th and 4. I really don't remember.
That's a different scenario, though, because you're down 2 scores late in the game.
But it was still it was 13-3. So yeah, you're down 2 scores, but it's 13-3. If you don't get that, the game's completely out of reach.
I'm pretty sure there were only 10 minutes left in the game, though.
Exactly.
If there's 10 minutes left in the game, you have to go for it then.
I don't know. I don't know if you have to go for it there. I think it was.
I'm pretty sure it was
on the clock.
16-3 with 10:40 left.
It might have been. That's still a lot of time. If you can punt it and get the ball
back.
Not
if you have 3 points. Not if you have 3 points the whole game and you haven't been able to get anything going and your defense is actually playing well, but they're back on the field every 3 plays. I think that early in the game, it's the easiest call to go for it from the 38 on a 4th and 3.
That's what I'm agreeing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm agreeing that they should have went for it then, but they didn't. But then they go for it with 10 minutes and whatever you said was left. I thought it was 10 to 12 minutes left. And I
think it was 16-3 with 10:48 on the clock or 10:40 on the clock.
Okay. But still, regardless, it shouldn't have been to that point. And I think they should have went for it. Evan McPherson missed a 51-yarder. That could have made things a little different. We've seen Evan make them kicks over and over again where we might be spoiled in thinking, okay, he's going to make this. This is 3 points. But just getting in field goal range was such an issue and it shouldn't be. If you have a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins, 2 arguably obviously Jamar's number 1, T we believe is the number 1 receiver. There should not be much of a problem scheming one of them open when you have a Tyler Boyd. You have a Tyler Boyd who is just a great slot receiver, and then, like you said earlier, Irv Smith too. And Irv Smith didn't do nothing. T. Higgins didn't even have a single reception. That's
I think he
crazy.
had
Like,
8 targets, 0 receptions. There were
yeah,
probably 2 of them that were bad throws by Joe, but you can't have a day like that.
yeah.
But
It especially inter division. Like
yeah,
when we're talking about starting the year off 0-1 within the division, and I'm not saying that we're going to be that this game is end all be all. Okay, the season's trashed or whatever, but they do have a decent team in the Browns, and you don't, and you had that gimme by Kansas City. We want to talk about Kansas City being that team that we compare ourselves to, that we're in fighting with for home field advantage in the AFC Championship games and stuff. But you got to win this game, man. You got to be 1-0, and we know the importance of it just due to last year being 2-0. So it's super frustrating. It's frustrating with kind of the game plan on the offensive side of the ball. The It felt like Joe was constantly under pressure. I I don't know. It's kind of a loss for words. Hopefully, this is another wake up call to him where it's like, hey, we're not starting out 2-0 or 0-2. We're not going to go down 0-2, and especially with a division game next week. That is
One of the things that I think too, are people are way too comfortable. Like Bengals fans, I've been hearing all day. Oh well, we just start slow. It's okay. We just start slow. Well, you know what? You can't rely on that. You're just going to be able to turn it on week 4 after a 2-2 or a 1-3 start, because your chances of making the playoffs go down significantly if you start 1-3, and
or really bad if you start 0-1.
Your chances of getting the first seed are even lower. But yeah, I mean that, we should probably wrap it up. It's getting a little late. I'm about to lose. I'm about to lose my mind sitting here thinking and playing it over and over and over, and I'm just so frustrated with this game. But
especially so, to end it on a couple high notes, the defense had 2 turnovers. That I think the defense played good in general against probably the league's best running back. And the weather conditions, whatever, that kind of fits AFC North football. But the defense, they can't do it all, and that's what's frustrating. It's like we had opportunities upon opportunities. I think there was one point we got the ball around their 45-yard line, maybe due to the interception, and come up with absolutely nothing. Like you can't do that. They know that you can't do that. I'm not saying they're not out there trying, and I'm a little bit of a homer, so I'm not I give them the benefit of the doubt. I know the boys were trying, but dang, man, it's frustrating because the effort just didn't seem there. The game planning offensively didn't seem there. I don't feel like there's many excuses to have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and to come out of the first quarter with not even 100 yards. I don't think they had, or the first half. Sorry, but that just seems completely just inexcusable. And it's frustrating, but we have week 2 coming up, and we could play a great game and feel a lot better. But I look forward to that because I'll feel better for the following week. But I think I think we hit on a lot of good points. Like we said, it's late Sunday night. We'll try to get this out in the next couple days, hopefully, to you guys. And yeah, keep our heads up, but also hold the team accountable. Word of advice: be kind when you can be kind. Let's not be too harsh on each other as fans and on on the coaches and the team. but they do need to be held accountable. But that's all I got, Chris.
Tough one to start, but on to the next one. I'm sure I'll be a lot less frustrated when I wake up in the morning, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I know all week I'm gonna have to hear, oh, Joe Burrow, 5 years, $275 million, and he sucked. Yeah, he did suck, but he was still worth that. And,
yeah.
But all right.
How many
good running this one at you, but we'll catch you guys later on in the week and get prepared for week 2 and gotta do better. Gotta do better,
bud. And Joe Burrow doesn't have many bad games. Might be a little alibi. Give him his alibi, get his feet wet, let this team fill this loss and stay hungry. And we'll see how it goes. It's week 1. We got more games ahead of us, but I'll give a who day and we'll end it.
Who day.